Warrior from Mr. Popo. I'm not gonna lie, pretty delighted about that because Warrior is currently still my favorite class. And we're starting things off with the rare. As always, I don't think I want Alarmabot. The question is, do I take the Gadgeton Auctioneer, which could be pretty terrible in a lot of cases, or the Young Priestess, which, you know, sometimes you're just gonna play and it dies. We'll take the Auctioneer, although I'm not that thrilled about having a 5-slot devoted to it. Playing as a warrior. Wow, tough choice here between the Sunwalker or the Defender of Argus. Both are superb cards. I think I'm going to go for the Defender. This is more of a style thing, I think, than like a mathematically, objectively correct thing, just because I really like to play with buffs. And buffs, I like big buffs and I cannot lie, I guess, is the moral of this story. Oh man, someone has got to have made that joke before, right? Anyway, Fiery War Axe. You can pretty much always take Fiery War Axe, and it's more or less accurate. Here's a tricky situation. Do you take the Arathi Weaponsmith or the Harvest Golem? Both are really good. I mean, honestly, Execute's pretty good too, but these are pretty spectacular cards. So the Harvest Golem, I just love that kind of a card. You just drop it on turn 3, it's always going to be good. If it's bigger than what your opponent played, they just hate life because you kill it and then your thing comes back. If it's smaller than what your opponent played, it's still really annoying because they have to run into it once with their big creature and then they have to kill it again. Like, it's just a really good card. And again, I guess, yeah, so Arathi Weaponsmith definitely super solid as well, giving you that weapon. I'm going to trust my instincts though and take the Harvest Golem. I know that might seem crazy, but I feel like that's just such a good thing and it fits in my curve at the moment. Alright, we got MVP Nightblade here, and a Warden and an Ooze. So like, whereas all the cards in the last pack were great, these are all sort of mediocre. Okay, I don't want to fill my 4-drop with bad or mediocre cards if I don't have to, and I certainly don't want to take Nightblade. So we'll take the Ooze. It's a 3-2 for 2, which isn't the end of the world, and sometimes maybe it'll break a weapon. Alright, so here we have an Epic, all neutral Epics. These are all fine, if somewhat conditional. The biggest upside is probably with, well, I think the biggest upside technically is Big Game Hunter because you can kill like an Ironbark Protector with it or whatever, and that's pretty gigantic. The Faceless Manipulator can also be really impressive. I have found, however, that Faceless Manipulator is better if you copy your own stuff, because if you copy one of your opponent's things, unless you can also kill it, it's not that great. And the Blood Knight, I mean, I like a 3-3 for 3 more than I like a 4-2 for 3, but, and also sometimes it'll be just randomly gigantic. Other times, though, you know, you'll really wish it was one of these other two, because the Blood Knight just doesn't do as much in the best case scenario. So, okay, we'll definitely pick one of these two. It's a tough call. Definitely a tough call. We'll take the Big Game Hunter here for some large removal, but I could see it going either way. Okay, Razorpin Hunter is definitely a good 3-drop, but I'm not going to pass on a chance to take Slam. Slam basically turns on Execute, and even if you don't have Execute, it's still nice to be able to, you know, draw a card and deal damage to something, so I'm going to grab it here. Okay, Inner Rage, you have to really start thinking about it when you have Gadgeton Auctioneer, but I'm not going to take dumb things. I mean, it's not dumb, but I'm not going to take this kind of conditional techie spell over just a really solid 3-drop. Well, this is tough. So this is a 1-drop that is playable. Later in the game it's alright, but not super great. Cobalt Geomancer, I mean, with Warriors, it can make Inner Rage like a backstab, and it can make Cleave a lot better. I think that's what this is really best with, is if you can get Cleave. And this is just a card cycler. I guess I'll take the card cycler here, smooth out my deck a little bit. Okay, now the Armor Smith, this is an interesting card. So at 4 toughness for 2 mana, it's actually quite difficult for the opponent to bring down, and it can give you a lot of life. But I'm actually not, I don't have any 4-drops here, and good 4-drops win games. We'll take our Twilight Drake here, so that we got some of those. Ew. Well, the monkey, some people have told me I was underestimating that monkey, and maybe I am, but I will take a Raid Leader, because, you know, bad buffs are better than no buffs, and so far all I have is this Defender of Argus. Very tricky situation here. So I could take Execute just to have one, but I'd rather take Execute in like a bad pack, not in a pack that has like premier 4-drops in it. Spellbreaker could be good, of course. It's nice to have a silence in the deck, but, you know, the +2 attacks just can be such a big game changer sometimes. I don't know if this is the right play, but I'll take the Dark Iron Dwarf. I mean, if I can kill something with the Dark Iron Dwarf's buff, it's almost going to be as good as, I mean, it's going to be as good as silencing it, almost. So, yeah, that's a tough call there. Okay, here, the Wind Fairy Harpy, I need to consider it because I don't have any endgame, but I will not take it over a Heroic Strike. That's just such a good finisher spell and removal spell. Okay, the Farseer is definitely good. Right now I have 3 3-drops the big game hunter doesn't count. And actually, 3/3 drops, I'm feeling pretty good about that. We'll take a Kor'kron Elite for some end game finishing damage, and also for some quasi removal. Alright. Battle Rage is a card that is worth having sometimes. It, makes you more likely to pick up Whirlwinds, for example. But I'm not going to pass on a Cruel Taskmaster. I love this card a lot. So it can be removal, it can be like a Dark Iron Dwarf, it can turn things on for like a Battle Rage later, it can turn things on for Execute. There's just a lot of things to like about that card. Well, I'm not a big fan of Cleave, but certainly over this trash, I will take it. Okay. I'm not a big fan of Ironbeak Owl. Do I take it because the other cards in this pack are trash? We'll take the Farseer. I'm not happy about it, but I really don't like that Owl. Okay, I need endgame in this deck. It has currently 0 of that. So the question is, do I take a 5-drop, like a Chillwind Yeti with some healing, or do I just go all the way to Stormwind Champion? Let's take the Stormwind Champion. I think I just need to have something there. Alright, I will take a second Heroic Strike over an Argent Squire. And I'll take an Argent Commander over a Twilight Drake. Again, I need some kind of endgame. So, do I take Battle Rage here? I still don't really have, like, Whirlwind or anything that could really help me. I guess the Battle Rage currently works pretty nicely with Cruel Taskmaster, but that's about it. I'm going to take Tiger. I need endgame and midgame, more so than I need that card drawer. Okay, here, the healing can be nice, but I'm going to take the Scarlet Crusader for the potential to really slow down my opponent's plays. I need to take the Stormwind Knight, because I still feel like I need more 4-drops and more mid and endgame. Perfect. So, the Fairy Dragon is one of the best 2-drops in the game, but... Well, actually, hang on. So, I don't really have any 2-drops here. I have an Ooze and a Novice Engineer. Taskmaster's conditional, and everything else that I have at 2 mana is actually removal. But you know what? Like, that kind of works. Although this curve is deceiving, because it doesn't actually have lots of, like, creatures in it, I mean, I have things to play at 2 mana. Like, I can kill my opponent's things with Heroic Strike or with Fiery War Axe. So I don't really feel that much pressure to take this Jumper Nugget. Let's take the Weaponsmith to put more weapons in the deck. Okay. Don't want to take this Gorbashi. I mean, I really don't like it. Yes, of course, it works nicely with the Cruel Taskmaster and whatnot, but that's certainly not as good as a Kor'kron Elite, I don't think. So do I take the Panda? That's the one question I have. I can repeat the Taskmaster, repeat the Engineer, maybe the Ooze, maybe the Golem, but not really. So really, it's just repeating these two would be pretty good, actually. These are pretty good combos. I could repeat the Crusader and the Hunter, actually. I could repeat the Weaponsmith, the Dwarf, the Defender. Wow. Recharge my Chargers. Wow. Yeah, there's actually a lot of things to Panda in this deck. Kor'kron Elite's definitely good, but I'm going to take the Panda. It does give me like an extra 2-mana creature, but also later in the game, that could actually be really good. Okay, Boulder Ogre is like a call from the heavens. I do have a love affair with Flesh-Eating Ghoul, but this deck needs the big beef. And the Cult Master is cute and all, but I'm going to take Fiery War Axe because it's a Fiery War Axe, guys. Okay, so here, I never did pick up an Execute. I would happily play with another Taskmaster, but it's not particularly synergistic in this deck. So I'm actually going to grab the Panther here to have a 3-drop, and also to have like a way of finishing off my opponent with that stealth creature. This curve ended up being pretty aggressive, so I will take an Arcanite Reaper. It's pretty likely that I'll actually be able to use that. And I will take an upgrade with 2 Fiery War Axes, a Weaponsmith, and an Arcanite Reaper. I think that's better than this Mind Control tech. Alright, well, this deck I think turned out alright. Mr. Popos told me a while back that he was going to Florida from Chicago for a cruise with his family. Ooh, nice. Cruises are a lot of fun. When I was a little kid, my parents went on a cruise with me. I don't think I really appreciated the full experience. My favorite part about it was like staying indoors on the boat. Every time we made port and had to like go out to visit like Rome or whatever, like, oh, well, this is a little baloney. I don't want to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning to go sightseeing. Hate this part of the trip. It was only when I was an adult that I realized that like going out and seeing the places where the boat docks is like the entire point of the cruise. Alright, so here we're up against the Shaman. Well, I think that's an easy mulligan. Do I keep the Stormwind Knight? I mean, it could be really good on turn 4, but it might not be. Let's just actually go ahead and dig for our other 3-drops. 3 drops is what I'd rather see. There we go. This is fine. Twilight Drake's not going to be the most impressive Twilight Drake in the world, but there is a really good chance that I'm actually going to not use my coin, because I've got the Novice Engineer to play, and then my choice of 3 drops, and then the Twilight Drake. And the Novice Engineer will actually draw me a card. So I might actually have, you know, like basically like a full hand here on turn 4. I'm going to play the Ooze. Now this is a risk, because if my opponent does have a Stormforged Axe, I'll really regret that. But That's just one common card, and I think there's a big difference here with this Ooze trading for the Raptor, letting me keep my Heroic Strike. Oh man, I hope he's not attacking me because he has a Stormforged Axe. That would really suck. That would suck a lot of dongs, to be totally honest. Because I could have used the Heroic Strike to kill this. Or I could have just played the Novice Engineer, not given a damn. He gets a Taunt Totem, which is, well, it's the one that he wanted. It stops me from doing the trade. I'm gonna play a Scarlet Crusader here. So this does die to Earthshock. I could have played the Hunter instead. I could have coined out the Twilight Drake, but I went for this. He actually has the Earth. Oh my god. I have to say, I have had a lot more of my Scarlet Crusaders die to Earthshocks than I have, you know, actually like killed my opponent's Scarlet Crusaders with Earthshocks. And he's just cheekily sneaking 4 damage through like a dick. Anyway, this is not over yet. So rather than the Twilight Drake, let's just go ahead and immediately play that Weaponsmith that I drew, kill the Shattered Sun Cleric, finally get shit under control. So the story here is that I have some card advantage now, and board advantage, but my opponent did take a third of my life off, so if he can keep up the pressure somehow, he might win, but I feel like I actually have to give myself the advantage here because of this axe in my hand. Alright, so he uses a very efficient removal. This does mean that next turn, he's not going to be able to play... Sorry, let me close the door. This does mean that next turn, he's not going to be able to play a Fire Elemental or a Boulder Festoga or anything, which is really, really nice. That is spectacular news. I could also kill just about anything. I mean, Heroic Strike plus this Battle Axe is 6 damage. Of course, if I hit a Fire Elemental with it, that'll be 6 damage to the face. But I could still do it once. As a warrior, I'm a little bit more loose with my life than as a rogue. Totem is great news, because that means that he didn't have anything good to do for 4 mana. So he's going to be overloaded next turn, and he had nothing to do this turn. Oh, that's good. That is good. So do I play the Twilight Drake here? I could also play like Novice Engineer, coin, and then Twilight Drake. I mean, when is the coin going to be useful for me at this point? Yeah, let's play Novice Engineer. Big Game Hunter, that could potentially be useful. And I will actually go ahead and kill off this totem. Let's not leave him with any creatures. Let's leave this Novice Engineer around, because otherwise the totem could have killed the Engineer. And then the Dark Iron Dwarf has a really good target. So no Fire Elemental. I have a 4/6 in play. He's already used 1 Earthshock on a Scarlet Crusader. If he has a second Earthshock, well, that's not likely. I don't really see most Shamans drafting 2 Earthshocks, and even if they do, drawing both of them in the top 9 cards of their deck is, you know, less than 50% odds for sure. So this Twilight Drake should be safe. And the Big Game Hunter. Well, this could have been a Faceless Manipulator. Oh my god. I just... Mad Bomber. That's all we have to say to that. This could have been a Blood Knight, which would actually probably be better here. Could have also been a Faceless Manipulator, which, well, it's hard to say whether that'd be better or not. Oh my god. That just had to hit the Novice Engineer, didn't it? And he gets a Taunt Totem again. Wow. That's annoying. Alright, well, here what we're going to do is just kill the Taunt Totem. I'm not going to use Heroic Strike to kill that, or Slam. I don't think it's really worth it. I'm not in that desperate of a situation yet. Let's actually just go ahead and get massive board advantage. Stuff's pretty safe from Lightning Storm. I've got, you know, removal. I can deal 6 damage to something. If he plays something really huge, well, there's not that much that he could play that's huge, like maybe like a War Golem or something. Boulder Festogers are 6/7, so those don't actually really work. This could have been a Spellbreaker, by the way. And I'm going to go ahead and say that, tentatively, that was a misdraft. If this were a Spellbreaker, I could silence the Twilight Drake and kill it with my Piglet. Or even if the Mad Bomber kills the Piglet, I could have then killed it with my Golem, for example. So, yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. And I'm continuing to bleed damage. Alright. Well, what I'm going to do here is play a Dark Iron Dwarf like this. And kill my opponent's Twilight Drake. I will also... Well, this is the time to use Slam. You know what? I'm just not going to draw a card with the Slam. But I'm just going to do it. So that now I can kill off my opponent's Harvest Golem and use the Piglet to finish it off completely. So he's got 4 cards to my soon-to-be 4, but I also have 4 creatures on the board. So I'd say that I'm way ahead. Except that, you know, my life total is at 15, which is a bit scary, but he'd have to have some pretty amazing cards to be able to keep putting pressure on me. That's probably a rock biter weapon. No, it's just a spell that he pointed at himself. Ah, he's got a fire elemental. I see. Well, that's okay. Ancestral. Well, that's pretty good. So, Big Game Hunter, unfortunately, does not kill this thing. Heroic Strike also doesn't quite kill it. I have to kill this fire elemental twice. Well, I gotta admit, I'm sure there's gonna be people watching like, oh, look at Ancestral Spirit, it's so good, Boris. No, it's not actually that good. It's just, you know, happened to be good here. So, here what I'm gonna do is play my Tiger, because this is a pretty good answer to the fire elemental. And I'm just gonna armor up. So, what I'm doing here, there's no point in attacking and killing this, because it's just gonna come back. So, I don't actually achieve anything by doing that. I want to kill it when I have got this Tiger in play to kill it again. Now, this is actually kind of scary. I can't kill it with my Big Game Hunter because it's in stealth. I think he's making a mistake by doing this. He probably... because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to, like, run my creatures into this fire elemental. What he should have done is attacked me in the face. I mean, I'm at 17 health. He could have taken me down to 11. Then I'm pretty much dead from this Ravenholt Assassin. So I think he made a little bit of a misplay there. Cleave. Oh, wow. That's pretty good. Now, there's a chance that Cleave will hit this 1-1 and the 7-5. So do I want to kill this off first? God, he's been flipping good totems. If this had been any other totem, I could just kill it and then Cleave. So let's say it does hit this in the Assassin. It's not actually the end of the world, because if I were to kill this with one of these guys, I'd lose my creature anyway. Oh, I guess I could actually use the Stormwind Knight, couldn't I? Yes! Okay, that's the right place. We're going to Stormwind Knight. Kill that. Cleave. Kills off Fire Elemental once. Then my Tiger kills it off the second time. I'm going to say that the Fire Elemental, or sorry, the Tiger was the correct draft choice. Let's armor up. Swing, swing. Pass the turn. So my hope here is that he just hits me in the face, and then I can Big Game Hunter this thing down. But I actually doubt he'll do that. He sort of demonstrated that he wants to grind this out with his last move of killing my Dark Dwarf. This is a pretty potent card here, because I have all these 2-power creatures. Ah, okay. That's different. Are you freaking kidding me? You've got to be freaking kidding me. That's so ridiculous. And there's a Totemic Might. Okay. Well, I don't really care about that too much. Oh my god, that's so irritating. I can't even fathom. Alright. What we're going to do here... I can Panda something. That might be good. Alright, we're going to go ahead, first of all, and just kill that Ravenholt Assassin. That was a mistake. Sorry, folks. I screwed up, because I should have killed this totem first before it slid and got next to that Flame Tongue totem. And because this is a motherfucking taunt totem, I can't actually do anything about that. Ah, that's annoying. Shit. Well, that could be like a game-losing error. What I'm going to do is a little bit of a weird move. Let's go ahead and Heroic Strike and use that to kill the Taunt Totem, so that I can use my minions to kill off that. We're going to do this. Actually, well, the Panda doesn't really make much sense here, does it? Just armor up. Well, I'll play the Panda. I'm just going to play the Panda just to play it. Don't get hung up on getting little combos to work. I know it was tempting to be like, oh, I'm just going to hold on to the Panda, and then so I can like reuse the charge on the Knight. But by having the Panda on the board, you deal more damage than what you could have done with a recharged Knight anyway, so it's not actually like worth holding on to. That was a big mistake, though. I should have killed the Taunt Totem with my minions before I killed off the Ravenholt Assassin with the Big Game Hunter. Now, I have a pretty huge lead here. Unless he gets another Taunt Totem. Thank goodness. So the only totems he's flipped were the Searing Totems and the Taunt Totems, which this game have been the most annoying ones. The spell damage or the healing would have been much better for me. Okay, Defender of Argus is pretty good. Let's think. Where do I want to use the Defender of Argus? I think I want to use it here. Kill the Flame Tongue Totem that way. And we're gonna just ignore that Searing Totem. I should have been looking for the win there, by the way. I could have gotten him down to 4 health, so I couldn't have killed him, but I should have looked. Well, Sunwalker is a pretty good card. Luckily, I buffed the correct thing with my Defender of Argus, so this will actually be able to kill the Sunwalker after my damaged golem here busts through the Divine Shield. Alright. Fiery War Axe, that is nice. So, yeah. We'll do this to pop the Divine Shield, kill it. And that's actually enough damage even without the Fiery War Axe to finish the job. So, yeah, wow, I don't know. That was a bit of a tight game for how good I think this deck is. It's pretty tight. My opponent didn't really do anything that amazing either. I guess he had a Fire Elemental with Ancestral Spirit, and he also played a Ravenholt Assassin, and I was able to beat that. So I guess that's pretty good. I wonder if... Pardon me as I eat some yogurt. I wonder if a Faceless Manipulator would have been better or worse there. Oh my gosh, it would have been better, I think. If I had a Faceless Manipulator, I could have copied his Fire Elemental, and then I would have had a regenerating 6/5 for 5 mana. Yeah, that probably would have been better, because I could have killed off the Ravenholt Assassin anyway. I had, like... You know, it only had 3 health, so I could have killed it. Okay, going first against a rogue, because I'm always first against rogues. The nice thing is that I did top deck Cleave, which will answer a turn 1 Defias Ringleader in really, pretty much like the best way that you could possibly ever answer that card, actually. Fork Lightning will also answer it, but that leaves you with Overload. Anyway, my opponent does not have the thing. So I could play the Novice Engineer to cycle. The problem is, my opponent is just going to make a dagger and kill it. So what I'll do is I'll play the Panda. Now the risk with the Panda, of course, is backstab, but I'd rather, you know, play into the card she might not have than play into the dagger that she definitely has. She's got a coin. Oh, I think that's SI Agent. Fuck me sideways. No, it's a Raging Worgen, and she has a backstab for the Panda. I see. Well, I was really hoping she didn't have that backstab, because then I could have killed this Worgen. No, this sort of sucks. A lot of dongs. I'm going to take a little bit of a risk and play this thing. So yeah, it's a risk because my opponent can use the dagger to kill off the Piglet, then turn on Wind Fury with the Razorfen Hunter. But I'm willing to take that chance, because if she does that, then she hopefully plays another minion, maybe? Oh no, why would I think she plays another minion at 1 mana? Yeah, that was a bit of a risk. Mr. Popo is boarding now and wishes me good luck with the runs. Indeed, take care. Well, luckily, I did have the Stormwind Knight here, so I can kill the Worgen, but now the dagger finishes off my Knight, so I'd say that was probably a mistake. I don't know what I should have done instead, I guess. It was kind of a bad situation. There was nothing for me to play. Knife Jungler. Oh my god. Alright, please win the coin flip. I, of course, lose the coin flip. Well, the good news is that Cleave is pretty spectacular here, even better than the Fiery War Axe. So we're going to cleave it up. And sure, I'll play a Raid Leader. I think it's still better than playing the Novice Engineer into Certain Doom. If she didn't have the dagger in her hand, then maybe I would have played it. Okay, so this is a card I need to watch. This could have been an Execute or a Spellbreaker. Last game, it would have definitely been better as a Spellbreaker. Panther, pretty good for my opponent here. Can't deal with it in any way. And it will kill my Dark Iron Dwarf, which is annoying. She had the dagger remade. So that sucks. Cruel Taskmaster doesn't really do anything for me. Well, what I'm going to do here is draw a card. Because I got nothing better to do. Big Game Hunter. Yeah, that's not super great. Alright, well, I could make a tech play here. I could Cruel Taskmaster my Raid Leader and swing, but then she can just kill the Raid Leader. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's just go ahead and play the Dark Iron Dwarf. So this is where the Panther is like amazingly good, because it'll kill the Dark Iron Dwarf in high style. And she's building up some nice card advantage here. She gets to kill this Novice Engineer. She trades these 2 off. And she's got 6 cards to my, like, 4, 5. Unless I win back card advantage with this War Axe, I'm going to be in trouble. SI Agent? Seriously? Oh my god. This blows. This blows a lot of dongs, folks. Lots and lots of dongs being blown here. So the Cruel Taskmaster can kill the Piglet, but then the Wrathy Weaponsmith takes care of business. I could play my own Weaponsmith. Sorry, the Hunter takes care of my Taskmaster. I could play the Weaponsmith, but these things have 3 health. I really should just be playing the Fiery War Axe. Oh my lord. Well, this is not ideal, but it's the best I can do. And I'm gonna actually just play this big game hunter here. I feel like I have to. Get some creatures on the board. Wow, I am getting stomped this game. My opponent has had all the right answers at all the right times. It all began with that backstab. If I hadn't had the backstab, I could have killed her whatever she played, her Raging Worgen. Or then she wouldn't have played the Raging Worgen at all, which would have also been fine by me. Oh my god. FML. And she always has a dagger, so she's keeping close to her cards. Well, this sucks. So the weaponsmith is really unimpressive here, because I keep drawing other weapons. Well, I'm gonna play it anyway. Oh man, but this thing will just die to the dagger plus the hunter. Yeah, I just got like ground down into a fine paste this game. This rogue like walked all over me. Mama's Backhand says, finally made it to a Boris stream. Thank God. I do indeed thank the gods that you are here. You have chosen an inauspicious time to arrive. I'm getting absolutely manhandled by this rogue. This rogue has had a dagger pretty much the entire game, but despite spending 2 mana to always be making that dagger, her cards have just been so good that it doesn't even matter. Like, she's just gotten card advantage every single turn. So, I don't know, and my drafting decisions could have been much different. That would allow me to win this game. I think my deck just might not be as good as I think it is. I need a creature here, and that is not the creature that I need. Lord. Well, there's just really no point in playing this thing. Just none. Zero. So I'm not even going to do it. Just pass the turn. I mean, I could still come back if I top deck a Boulder Fist Ogre. That plus the Defender of Argus would give me like a 7-8 with Taunt. I might be able to come back from that if these cards are all weak enough. That's actually not an example of a weak card, so crap. I need my slam real bad, so I can slam off the Divine Shield and then kill it with my axe, but then I'm pretty much dying. Oh god, this is just bad. She keeps making that dagger every turn. Every turn she's got this dagger. Well, I got my own Argent Commander. That's good, I guess. Let's do this, this, and kill that thing. So, whatever. Yeah, we're gonna pop the Divine Shield. So if she runs in, they trade rather than my guy dying and her guy staying. Oh no, that's not good. Oh jeez, wow, she had like early game and like this like phenomenal end game as well, because you know, why not? She can get me down to 1 health, and she is going to do that. The good news is though that I still have a chance to go out in style, baby. Oh, fuck you. You know what? I am not going to go out in style against you. What is this premature, well-played bullshit? Yeah, whatever. We're going to concede. That wasn't even well-played. That was just a load of baloney dongs. Alright, well, that sucked. So, yeah, I thought this deck was good. I said it was good when I made it. And then the first game was really, really hard against the Shaman. And that game, there was just no chance at any point. So, maybe this deck just isn't as good as I think. That's kind of sad. Well, we'll try to get far if we can. 6 would be nice. Though, given how those last 2 games went, might be a bit of a stretch. I'm not sure why. It's got lots of good cards in it. Curve seems alright. I guess that is still my weakness in this game, is evaluating my own decks. Ah, oh, rogue. Well, okay. Even though I just got crushed by rogue, I still like to play rogues as a warrior, because both of us are going to be killing things with our weapons, but I have life gain and she doesn't. So I feel like this still should benefit the warrior. I will not play an ooze on turn 2, probably. It would be nice to be able to, like, save this to at least kill her hero dagger. And we'll just play a Novice Engineer. Fiery War Axe, that's cool. So, if she makes a dagger and kills the engineer, at least she's not making quote-unquote real plays. And if she does play a real card, then after this thing attacks, if it attacks, my Novice Engineer kills it. So, she used her whole turn making that dagger, putting this out. Now, the good news is that I have a really solid play in this Harvest Golem here. Or the Cruel Taskmaster. No, let's save that. Let's save the Cruel Taskmaster for later. Let's play the Golem now. This is a really, really, really good answer to the Worgen Infiltrator. Because she can, of course, kill the Golem with the Infiltrator plus the dagger, but then the Golem comes back, and she can't attack again. She'd have to remake the dagger to finish it off. She has her own Harvest Golem. Well, touche. And she does that, which is fine. So I've got a couple of options here. One is to play the Fiery War Axe, attack this Golem, play the Cruel Taskmaster, finish it off, and then swing for 2. The advantage of this play is it puts a dagger in my hand, gives me card advantage, and it lets me keep on swinging. The disadvantage is that I throw 2 cards out of my hand, making my Twilight Drake a little bit smaller in the future. So I could just play this Twilight Drake right now, but the problem then is she can make the dagger kill this Golem, and then this thing will be a little bit tricky to kill. Let's actually go for the immediate board clear. When in doubt, clear the board. That could be a proverb. When in doubt, clear it out. Or something. So this game is going much better than the last one. I actually have board presence, and we're equal on cards. She has 7 to my 6. Actually, she has 7 to my 7, and I'm the first player, so I've really actually caught up. I've already made back the deficit of the starting player's hand. So I'm equal on cards, got a weapon in here to kill things, and I've already got 2 creatures on the board. So we're 3 turns away from Stormwind Champion, but it honestly doesn't seem that far away, because I've got stuff to do in the meantime, like Twilight Drake, for example. I could even maybe play the Panda and recharge the Cruel Taskmaster if I needed like an extra point of damage or something. Alright, here comes the coin for Perdition's Blade. I see, so she will clear out my board, actually. Well, that is admittedly pretty annoying. But at least she used her coin on the blade. The question is if she has anything good to do with those 2 mana. Or was that coin just to get the combo to go off on the blade? Well, that would be silly, because she could have just played the blade without combo, shot this, and hit that, and taken the exact same amount of damage. So I assume she has to have a 2 mana play, or else she threw the coin away for absolutely nothing. Wow, my opponent threw away the coin for literally nothing. That is pretty spectacular, but I'm not going to complain. So here I got a Chillwind Yeti. Again, to repeat, I had a 2-1 and a 2-2. She shot the 2-2 and then whacked the 2-1, but she could have just as easily shot the 2-1 and whacked the 2-2. The end result is the same, my creatures are both dead, and she takes 2 damage, but she threw the coin away for no reason. Okay, so the Deadly Poison won't quite kill my Twilight Drake, which is fine, but she's going to do that anyway. Alright. As I think I've commented before, the Dragonling mechanic is a really good answer to the Fiery War Axe, because you don't really want to hit it with the... You don't really want to hit the mechanic with the axe, but you also don't really want to waste the axe on the Dragonling either. Luckily, I have a pretty good play here. I'm just going to hit her in the face. Play the Panda to put the Twilight Drake back in my hand. And then just replay the Drake. Well, I can play the Stormwind Knight, kill the mechanic with it, plus the axe. Just preserve the health in the Brewmaster. Nah, let's just play this thing. And you know what? I will just kill this. Fine. Might as well. So yeah, now she can use the mechanic to kill my Panda and live to tell about it. But I can play Stormwind Champion next turn, and then things start to go really bad for my opponent. She needs a really good play here. Mama's Backhand notes, throws away the coin, and then Deadly Poisons a single axe tick. Yikes. Yeah, that was a questionable move. Questionable series of moves, for sure. Demolisher really couldn't care less about. I can kill that right now. Is there going to be a Cold Blood coming down here to kill out my Twilight Drake? I wouldn't really mind that, because then I can play Stormwind Champion, and then buff this and kill the Demolisher. Now, if she has Cold Blood and a Backstab, that would be kind of annoying.
So many options.
Oh my god, I'm calling it like a pro. What is she doing? Oh, now she's going... Well, okay. I think that was probably a mistake. I don't know. It doesn't quite seem like the right move to me. I feel like killing my Twilight Drake to preserve the Demolisher would have been a lot smarter. So now what I can do is play my Stormwind Champion. This allows me to... Well, see, this thing will kill either one of my creatures, so I should really kill off the less valuable one. Let's go ahead and kill the Demolisher that way. Oh, could I have won? No, I couldn't have won. I could have taken her down to, I could have taken her down to 6. I could have cleaved, but then I couldn't have played the Stormwind Champion. Yeah, I think that was fine. This thing was at a maddening 6 power, so Big Game Hunter wasn't quite good enough. This could have been a Faceless Manipulator, which would be sitting in my hand at this moment. Iron Beak Owl, lame. Oh, my opponent screwed up. She forgot about the buff, but I guess she can use the Abusive Sergeant, so it's still good to silence it. Deadly Poison, number 2 drops down. Man, she is determined to use those Deadly Poisons. Why not just use the Abusive Sergeant to kill that Twilight Drake instead of taking more damage to the face when you're almost dead already? Alright, well anyway. This opponent is playing pretty badly. That is a fact. Okay. So now I will look for the win here, and I have it. Actually, I wasn't going to have it originally. I could have done 6 plus 2 is 8, but now with this Arcanite Reaper, I just have the kill. Don't even need to cleave her board. And this opponent gives a well played, like a professional gentle lady. Alright, so that was like night and day difference between those 2 rogues. The first one played very well, although I didn't give her a well played because she was also a bitch. And then that one did not play well at all. She threw away a coin. She wasted Deadly Poison. She made really questionable decisions with creature trading, which is fine by me. I have no problem with people playing badly. I never understood people who get angry when their opponents play badly. It's like either you get angry because your opponents play well and you lose, or you get angry because your opponents play badly and you win. I mean, yes, there are those games where like you both play really perfectly and it's like a tough fought battle, but I mean those are pretty rare. Do I keep the Slam? I'm actually not going to keep the Slam. It's really more of an end game kind of removal, not something you want to use in the early game. I would actually rather have creatures to play. X6Nat says, hello chat plus Boris. Mama's backhand says, good afternoon. Hello, X6. I actually don't know. I think I've asked you this before, but I don't know what the right way is to pronounce your name. X6Nat. It's kind of a hard thing to say. I'll just call you X. Argent Squire, boo! Boo! You suck. Hey, there's a Boulder Vizd Ogre I've never seen. Nice of you to show up. It's almost like I put you in my deck or something. So now you can use Shapeshift plus the Divine Shield of the Argent Squire to kill my Panda, which sucks. Many loads of dongs, and then the Argent Squire sticks around to kill off the Scarlet Crusader. Wow, it just really blows. I'm not gonna lie, that Argent Squire just ruined my life. Oh, man. Ah, that sucks. So here's what we're gonna do here, folks. Ooh. I was gonna play the Panther, but I think this is even better. We're just gonna play this. I'm trying to get rid of this Argent Squire. Definitely don't want to play Scarlet Crusader here. The Squire plus Shapeshift will kill the Scarlet Crusader. This is much more durable against the Shapeshift and the Argent Squire. Loot Hoarder, don't really care about it that much. Oh, please, don't play more stuff. You suck. No, pass the turn. Don't even bother attacking me. Just pass the turn, buddy. Oh, yay! That's good. That's exactly what I wanted to see. So now I can use Cleave to... No! Don't do... Oh, it's just Shapeshift? So he's going to coin to kill the Piglet. I understand. That makes a certain kind of sense. It stops the Loot Hoarder from just auto-dying. Luckily for me, I have Cleave. Wow, Cleave has been pretty good, actually, all the time so far. Is it worth playing Cleave over these really good 3-drops that I have? Like the Golem, actually, I might consider playing... Nah, let's just do Cleave. Kind of sucks that I'm armoring up here rather than playing a minion, but that's fine. Actually, this curve really sucks, so next turn I can only play one of these 3-drops. I'm getting clogged by 3s. So he's got 7 cards to my 5, soon to be 6, but I am the first player, so that's perfectly sensible. This is annoying. I could slam... and then finish it off. Yeah, I'll do that. So always draw cards first. Wow, I can actually use the Cruel Taskmaster to kill this thing. Then I don't have to use my Razorfin Hunter. It doesn't use up all of my mana. No, we're just gonna do this. So, it's because it's a Golem. Like, if this were some other minion... like a Raging Worgen or something, I wouldn't have done that because then everything would die to Swipe. But here, Swipe will leave me still with a 2-1 damaged Golem. And then I can play a Boulder Fist Ogre next turn if he spends his whole turn swiping. True to the Claw, he goes for the Taunt. Not surprising. Well, let's think. So I can use the Cruel Taskmaster to buff the Golem, swing for 4. Leaves this guy at 2 health. I can just throw away my Razorpen Hunter, I suppose. And then I have 4 mana left over, and I can play like a Panther. Or I could just play Boulderfist Ogre and pass the turn. Yeah, let's just play this Boulderfist Ogre. It does mean that I leave his minion alive, but at the same time, this is a 6/7, it's really, really difficult for a Druid to deal with. I think that's worth keeping this minion alive. I mean, you might say, well, Boris, you can like kill your stuff, but like I was gonna kill it anyway. Like I was gonna run my stuff into this thing anyway. The main thing I'm risking is that he has a buff to make this thing stronger. But between the Taskmaster and the Fiery War Axe, even after he buffs this, like with the Mark of the Wild, giving it +4 health, I can still kill it with my Ogre. It looks like he's got something. I guess if he has a Dark Iron Dwarf, he could use this and Shapeshift to kill my Ogre. No, he's just going to give a Mark of the Wild. And a Dark Iron Dwarf. Wow. Alright. Well, that was pretty well played, I guess. Upgrade. Actually, that is pretty good. Let's do this. Upgrade. Now, I'm not going to cash my Golem out. I'm going to get rid of this Hunter because it's going to die to a swipe anyway. We're going to kill that Dark Iron Dwarf with my upgraded weapon. I can play one of these cards. Which one do I play? Let's go for the Scarlet Crusader. With my Golem. So I have a 4/2 weapon, which is pretty gigantic. It's like a True Silver Champion without the healing. But I've got healing as a warrior, so it's all good. I've got this. Well, actually, my cards are not that great. This could be okay, but the Panther kind of sucks. Well, I wish I'd played the Panther now, because if I had played the Panther previously, I could have Taskmaster and Raid Leader and killed this Boulderfist Ogre. Alas. As it is, what I'm going to have to do is smack it, pop off. No, wait. Do I want to pop this Divine Shield off? I don't actually think I do. I don't think I want to pop that thing off. Yeah, let's do the Raid Leader. Cash out my Golem. Keep the Divine Shield on. Play Panther, armor up. So this is a very imbalanced game state because he has about as many cards as I do. He actually has 6 to my 6, but all of mine are on the board. So it's like if he can really efficiently remove this with like a Starfall or something, then I'm in a lot of trouble. But if he can't, then I'll win the game. High stakes here. He has the Starfall. Shit. Well, fuck. So he can now Shapeshift to finish off my Scarlet Crusader, and I'm in a heap of trouble here because he's got massive card advantage against me. I guess I did kind of play into it, didn't I? Man, that sucks. So I don't have enough to burn him out. I've only got 4 damage here. Cruel Taskmaster has no targets. I will hang on. I'm not going to play anything here. I'll let him do what he wants to do. Hopefully this will be enough to deal with something, or at least help deal with something. And then maybe if I get a small minion that costs 4 mana or less, I can play out everything. Ugh, well that sucks. So even with the Taskmaster's help, this weapon isn't enough to kill that Ventrico Mercenary. Good news is his minions are expensive, so there's kind of a soft cap on him being able to play more stuff. He's just going to bounce against my armor. Thrallmore Varsier. Well, that satisfied my demands. Hang on. Do I really put the Cruel Taskmaster on that? I don't think I actually want to do that. So what we'll do is play the Farseer first. This is like the most awful use of the Cruel Taskmaster in recorded history. I'll play Defender of Argus there. And I'm not going to hit the Ventrico Mercenary just yet. You know what I could have done? I could have just buffed. I could have played the Defender of Argus over here. Leave the Thrallmore Farseer hidden behind a taunt. Doesn't matter because he had removal, but that probably would have been the more technically accurate play. Savage Roar. Alright. He should really probably hit me in the face with that 9 damage. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't even kill this thing now. Can I get a big game hunter? That would be pretty good. No, not a chance. Alright, well, I can't kill this. All I can do is buckle up and pass the turn, hoping I get my big game hunter. Oh my lord, why is this deck performing so badly? It's a good deck, I think. Certainly better than the priest deck that I played yesterday, in my opinion. I think he should probably just keep hitting me, but I guess he fears that Stormwind champion. So now an Argent Commander would also take care of this Ventricle Mercenary. Oh, and I could also use my axe if I need to. Druid of the Claw. He makes a charger. Interesting. I don't know why he didn't just hit me then. I mean, if he was going to try to go for the kill, he probably should have just hit me with all the damage. I could be at 4 health right now if he had killed me instead of attacking my Stormwind Knight. Oh, of course. Of course, I draw another weapon. So he can take me down to 1 health now. I needed Big Game Hunter and I didn't get it. And I needed him to not have Starfall and he had it.
Well played.
He's given me a well played, so I assume he has the 1 source of damage that he needs.
Where shall I
And he's got another Druid of the Claw. Yeah, that was well played.
Well played.
Ah, wow. Well, I have to say, Warrior's on a bit of a downturn for me after a super large streak. I have had like a couple of whiffs with this class, and this is looking like another one. I have not done this badly with Warrior in a long time. Like, I don't think I've been 2-2 as a Warrior in quite some time. So that's a little bit distressing. It's not over, though. I have been here before and then ended up making it into the money, I'm pretty sure. But still, it's a little bit discouraging. I don't feel like that Druid who beat me or the Rogue who beat me had any spectacular decks. Just didn't go very well. Now, maybe I could have played made some different plays earlier on with how I chose to, like, play my 3-drops that were clogging my hand, and with how I chose to keep the Divine Shield on rather than cashing out the Harvest Golem. Stuff like that. I think it wouldn't have mattered. I think he could have cleared my board regardless. Alright, so up against a Priest.
The light shall bring victory.
This is a pretty good hand, actually. The Argent's Commander, I think, is not worth keeping, but against a Priest, I know that the Acidic Swamp Ooze is just a 3-2 for 2, so I can play it without any fear. I can play it without remorse, and then I have turn 3, turn 4, should be fine. I'm also second, so as long as I don't use the coin, my Twilight Drake will be bigger by 2 than if I had been first, which is nice. I am not going to coin out that Ooze, although it would allow me to use Heroic Strike next turn and kill one of his plays. I would rather gamble that he doesn't have something, and that was a bad gamble. I don't know, I'm not saying I should have coined out the Ooze, but I would have been better off if I had, because now I'd be killing off this Knife Juggler. But I'd have an Ooze on the board already ready to, you know, I mean, dealing damage, but more importantly, on the board already ready to immediately deliver its power. This is my first time seeing the Auctioneer in 5 games, which I don't really mind because I don't really like that card here. Here's a second player, and not needing my coin, I might just be able to use the coin as a cycling slam. Don't slam your opponent's Acolyte of Pain. That is good advice to live by. Could have coined out the Drake for sure, but the Panther takes care of business just as well. And again, if I can hold out onto the coin, then I could get some cards off this Auctioneer. You don't want to go crazy doing that, but you should, you know, if there are reasonable alternatives, you know, angle yourself to get maximal advantage from your cards. Okay, well, here I could, of course, use the Panther to trade the Ghoul, but I will take a greedier approach here. Let's play the Drake, and then kill the Acolyte. Now, again, if I had coined out the Ooze on turn 1, I'd have this Ooze on the board right now, ready to kill off that Ghoul, and I'd be in much better shape. Again, I'm not saying that I should have done that, because oftentimes Priests won't have a play on turn 2, but the gamble that I took here just didn't really work out. So I've got 2 minions here that are ready to kill this Ghoul. Even with the Ghoul having grown a bit, and even if he kills the Panther to grow it up even more, my Twilight Drake still survives. My opponent plays a Fen Creeper, which is pretty good under these circumstances, because I have to kill it before I can get at this Ghoul. Big Game Hunter, not super helpful, although, I mean, the Ghoul can almost grow that much. Yeah, I'm not going to try to make that happen. So, I wish I had a weapon here. We're going to go ahead and slam, even though this is 1 fewer card from the Auctioneer, I think it's worth doing here. Harvest Golem, that's actually a very good draw. So we're going to go ahead and do this. The ghoul does grow, which is unfortunate, but I can still kill it. I'm going to play this really nice 3-drop. I would say that I'm doing pretty well. He's got 6 cards to my, 8, one of which is the coin, and I've got board advantage, and I'm at a pretty high life total. So I feel like I am currently set to win, although, he can always turn it around by making some pretty good plays. Man, time just might pass this auctioneer by. I mean, it could be necessary next turn for me to play coin and Stormwind Champion. Oh my gosh, that's really irritating. So he froze my Twilight Drake, meaning the Stormwind Champion on Twilight Drake won't kill it. I drew my other Heroic Strike, but that doesn't quite kill this thing either. It's so annoying. And I can't play the auctioneer because it just dies. Well, I guess, even though this is not ideal, we'll just kill the Frost Elemental by cashing out my Golem. So now I'm pretty vulnerable to a Holy Nova, but that's life. If he does play Holy Nova, that'll be his whole turn. I've already gotten the value I needed to out of these cards, that I'm not falling behind on cards, and then I can just play a Stormwind Champion and have it sit. Or maybe, you know what, I'd actually play an Auctioneer instead of the Stormwind Champion, I think. Maybe, there'll be something for me to kill with Heroic Strike if he has a 2-mana minion after he Holy Novas. Mama's Backhand points out that if I had used the Drake to kill the Fen Creeper instead of the Flesh-Eating Ghoul, I would have saved 2 health on the Drake, and that is totally correct. Well, he doesn't have a Holy Nova. He instead has an MVP Nightblade. I could play Stormwind Champion, or I could just play the Auctioneer and Heroic Strike to kill that thing. And I think I'm going to go for the Auctioneer and the Heroic Strike, because I want to get cards out of this guy before too long, and, might as well do it while I have the lead. The question is, do I cycle the coin for a card? And the answer is no, I don't think so. This thing has a pretty decent chance of surviving against a priest. Maybe against a different class. I would have taken the coin while I could. But against a priest, priests just don't do a very good job killing 4/4s. It's too much health against like Holy Nova and Holy Smite, and the 4 power, of course, survives Shadow Words. This is not intentional, but I have like the 4 power army here. So he could be choking on all like the Shadow Word pains and deaths he wants to, and it wouldn't do him any good. Our life totals are about even. I'm ahead on cards and on the board, so I'd say that I am currently set to win this game. It's going to have a Holy Fire for my Auctioneer. Well, that is unfortunate, so I should have cycled that coin. Well, I don't know if I should have cycled it, but it would have worked out better if I had cycled it. Yeah, let's just play Stormwind Champion. And you know what? Might as well coin out this Fiery War Axe. I'm not going to swing at his face just yet, but I want to have it in my hand rather than just wasting the last mana. The coin is probably not going to see any use. So we're way ahead on the board. Holy Nova doesn't kill my team now. Shadow Word Death is active, but he needs to kill the Stormwind Champion. I guess if he has Shadow Word Death and Holy Nova, he can clear my team, but it's unlikely that that's the case because he didn't play Holy Nova earlier. Wow, alright, so he just plays a bunch of 3-drops, 3-drop army here, and loses the game because I have enough damage to kill him. Well, that was a good game. So we're at least average with this deck. That's nice, I guess. It's a good Saturday when you find yourself saying things like, well, I'm at least average. And we played a bunch of big minions that time, so this quest is making some progress. Hopefully by the end of today's stream I will have finished that quest, gotten my 40 gold, and made up for what is appearing to be at the moment a weak arena. Right now, my money rate, my rate of getting up to 7 wins or more is exactly 50%. On the nose, so every arena run that I have swings it forwards or backwards. Another Druid. Man, not a big fan of playing against Druids as a warrior, because like you, they gain health, but unlike you, their hero ability also gives them board control. So, that's kind of frustrating. I feel like Druids do have the edge in this matchup, just on principle. Okay. So, not the greatest opening hand. I have 2 2-drops, but this is not exactly the kind of hand that you coin out 2-drops with. I see my Ogre, which is nice, I guess. I could have played Upgrade, But I'd rather just, because I have the coin, I might as well just wait on this upgrade. And, you know, if I need to upgrade to kill like a 1 toughness minion or something, then I'll just play the coin at that point and use it. Otherwise, I'd rather wait and see if I can get it onto like an actual card. So the nice thing is that my opponent isn't a rogue, because it means that I can play this Novice Engineer, and if he wants to kill it, he has to actually spend, you know, his entire turn killing it, rather than a rogue who could have a dagger left over from the previous round. The Acolyte of Pain. That is unfortunate. Very good answer to Novice Engineer. So I've got, as we like to say, a couple of options here. One is I could just play the Thrallmar Farseer and accept that, you know, the Acolyte kills the Engineer, and then the Farseer kills it and the Acolyte gets 2 cards. The Engineer drew me a card and this thing will live, so it's not the end of the world. Another option is I can play the coin Dark Iron Dwarf, kill the Acolyte myself, give it only the 1 card. Or I could just coin and play Twilight Drake, and then that way I have a really, really big presence on the board, more than a 4/4. But, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and coin out the Dark Iron Dwarf, so I am sacrificing a little bit of board presence for, in order to steal a card from my opponent, essentially. I'm hoping this 4/4 will be good enough. It's a little bit tricky for a druid to kill it. He'll have to spend his whole turn with like a Wrath or a Swipe to get rid of this thing. And then I can play a Twilight Drake next turn. Now the bane here would be if he played a really good 4-drop like a Shieldwind Yeti. No, he's just going to spend his whole turn killing it. That's fine. I don't really care about that because I just wanted to have breathing room to play my Twilight Drake. And I got it. Boosh, that's pretty huge here because I was the second player. Now, unfortunately, because I spent the coin, that was the disadvantage of doing the Dark Iron Dwarf rather than the Farseer. I cannot coin out the Ogre on turn 5, which is a bit unfortunate.
Where shall I
And he's got a Druid of the Claw. Well, I would like to play my Auctioneer, but that would just be dumb because the Druid will just kill it. I think the move is this. And kill that thing off that way. And then we'll play a Farseer. So at least now I don't get cleared completely by a Swipe or by Starfall. With Swipe, he has to leave one of my minions alive, and with Starfall, he doesn't have enough mana to shapeshift afterwards to finish off the Farseer. And so next turn, I can play my Boulder Fist Ogre and be in pretty good shape, I think, because Druids don't do well with Boulder Fist Ogres, and if he does play his own big minion, then I've got the Twilight Drake ready to kill it. So it's like he's in kind of an awkward spot. Either he clears my board, then I've got the breathing room to play this Ogre that he can't deal with, or he plays a minion, but then I can kill the minion and play my Ogre. Anyway, the best thing he could possibly have is like a really big minion of his own, say Innervate plus Ironbark Protector. That would be a really good move for him because then I can play the Ogre, but he'd have an answer to it. That's the only way that Druids can really answer big creatures, is by having their own big creatures. He's going to silence my Drake, making it a 4/1. And then killing it with Shapeshift. And the Owl actually does a non-negligible amount of damage. That's annoying. Please pass the turn. Oh, fuck you. Does he actually have more stuff to play? That sucks. Power of the Wild for a Panther. Alright. Well, that was annoying. Luckily, though, I can do Cleave. Oh, no, I can't. Ugh. If I Cleave, I can't do anything else. I've got 4 mana left over. That sucks. I can play Auctioneer and Upgrade, but that seems dumb when I have a weapon in my hand. You know what? I'm just going to suck it up and play this Ogre. So here, kill off the Panther, kill off the Owl, and swing for 2. You can Shapeshift to finish this off, or you could Swipe and it'll die, but Swipe will not kill my Ogre. I just really wanted to get this Ogre into play. I feel like it's a really important thing for me to have in play right now. Now, I've got a lot of burn potential here. I've got Fiery War Axe and Upgrade. Together, that is 12 damage. Heroic Strike, I've got 16 damage. These 3 cards represent 16 damage over 3 turns. So I really have to consider that, because, I mean, he's already going to be like at 19 health if the Ogre hits him. The Ogre Magi. Okay. Got a lot of different ways I could deal with that thing. I don't want to take damage off the Ogre. I could use the Argent Commander I just top decked. I could also use Fiery War Axe and Upgrade. The problem with Fiery War Axe Upgrade is then I can't play anything else with my mana. So I really would rather do this and Heroic Strike. I wish I had 8 mana, that would have been better, but this is good enough, I think. And yeah, you don't really want to let Druids keep spell damage around. That makes Swipe way too good. So now I've got still the 12 damage here, but no longer do I have the Heroic Strike. But still, 12 damage is a lot of damage to have, so I really should be looking for the win at all times. 12, actually, I still have 16 because of this charge. Okay, he Starfired my Ogre rather than my Auctioneer. I assume there's a reason for that. It was to kill the Ogre with the Wrath. Interesting. Well, I don't know. Kind of an interesting choice. He killed off the creature that hit harder, but he left the one that draws me cards. Keep in mind that weapons are not cards, but Upgrade is a card. So I will upgrade here. Acidic Swamp Ooze, that's nice. Swing, and I will start swinging at his face. Because at this point, I mean, I've got 8 damage here, plus 4 is 12 damage. Plus another 6, I have 18 damage. Now this is over like 4 turns, this 18 damage, but I've also got 2 minions here, one of which is a Stealthy Tiger. I mean, he's going to be in trouble. Even if he plays an Ironbark Protector here, I can use Argent Commander for 4 damage and the Fiery War Axe for 4 more and swing for 9. He's actually in a lot of trouble. I don't really see how many ways he has of coming back and winning this, with my board being what it is and my hand being what it is. Now, I'm not saying he should concede. He doesn't know what I have, but I feel like I should be able to get this game. Well, he's thinking, and I don't blame him. If there were any way to come back and win this, it probably would require a lot of thought. Force of Nature. Well, that's not really going to do anything. Does he have a Savage Roar just for comedy's sake? He actually does. I'm not going to say well played, but he actually had the combo. So if he had been able to deal more damage to me earlier in the game, because the Force of Nature plus Savage Roar combo is 14 damage, but I was at 25 health, so he couldn't kill me with it. Okay, well, I win now with Argent Commander. But again, he really didn't have that many ways that I could see to get out of that situation. Alright, so that was that, and we are officially above average. Now we're in the top third of arena entries here with this apparently not as good as I thought it was deck. And we're making some pretty sweet progress on that quest. So if you go, actually I've never calculated this before. What are your win percentages at each of the different marks? So if you get to 3 wins, your win percentage is 50%, 3 out of 6. If you get to 4 wins, your win percentage is 4 out of 7, which is 57%. If you get up to 5 wins, it's 5 out of 8, which is 62.5%. I see, so 5 wins is like a 62.5% win rate. And if you can get up to 6 wins, 6 out of 9, that's a 66.6% win rate. So if you can get up to 7, that's a 70% win rate. Okay. It's good to know. We're up against a Shaman here. A little bit, I have to say, I'm a little bit intimidated after that other Shaman. Wait, no, we beat the other Shaman. Never mind. The first game in this arena was against the Shaman, and the Shaman gave us a hard time, but he didn't win. This is a pretty good opening hand. Now I pass on turn 1, and we wait and see what he does. I mean, if he coins out a minion, then I can Fiery War Axe it. If he just passes, I can play the Brewmaster. And there's Upgrade. Well, that could be good. We'll see. Fiery War Axe. And then Upgrade. It kind of depends. It's not super impressive if you're using it to kill totems. But if you're using it to kill things, I think it's a lot more impressive. Okay. Well, let's do this. The question is, do we upgrade here? I didn't need the upgrade to kill that. I might regret not having it, but you know what? I'm actually just going to pass on that upgrade. I might not need this to use the upgrade there. Like, if he plays another 3 toughness minion, I don't need upgrade. Please do not be the 1/1. Thank you. Alright, we'll play the Farseer here rather than the Panther. Farseer is a good totem sweeper, and again, I don't really see a reason to play upgrade here. So he hasn't really played any cards. He's just kind of playing totems. He played that 1, 2, 3. X6 says, I never take the quest with the 5 mana cards because it takes so long. Yeah, it does take a while, but I think it depends on what mode you're playing. I mean, if you're playing Arena, I would rather have one of those than like a quest for winning games with a class that, you know, I didn't get a chance to pick. Because at least I'm making some progress on it, and I know that if I play enough Arena games, I'll win. But yeah, obviously the class quests are the best, assuming you're playing with the right class. Okay, so Lightning Storm here will potentially kill everything I have. Looks like he's got a Fire Elemental. Coining that baby out. Yep, there it is. This is unfortunate. I don't have any particularly good way. Oh, I do now. Thank goodness. I was going to say I had no good way of killing off this Fire Elemental, but now I have the perfect way, which is this. It's a bit unfortunate now that I don't have anything to do with my 4 mana, but I still think that was pretty good. I mean, I could have played the Argent Commander, but the Fire Elemental is so broken it should not have 5 health. I couldn't kill it with that. I would have to throw another creature away. Fork Lightning, I probably should have been thinking about that, and I wasn't. And I pay the ultimate price now. What is the right move here? If I do this and he pops Divine Shield, I will just suffer. But if he can buff this thing by even 1, then my Stormwind Champion dies for nothing. Wow, this game's starting to slip away from me. That Fire Elemental just, like, really caught him up. Okay, now the good news is that what I could do is I could play the Arathi Weaponsmith for a 2/2 weapon, upgrade it to be a 3/3, and then that is 9 damage, and then I can try to burn him out. Maybe that's the right play. I have to give that serious consideration, because I'm starting to slip a little bit here. I mean, I could just play for the card advantage and just, you know, pick off his minions. Or I could just go upgrade, 3/3, that's 9 damage, plus a Rogue Strike. Oh man, if he ever gets a Taunt Totem, it just screws everything up. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and play for the control here. It just sucks that I'm passing on all of my turns because I have awkward cards. But what I'd like to do instead is, like, find a turn to play this Tiger down, and then play a Stormwind Champion, swing for 6, and then Heroic Strike, make it 10, like, then go for the kill that way. Rather than blowing my spells, and then having him throw up a taunt or a taunt totem and just losing. Okay, so presumably he has removal for this Weaponsmith, or else he would not have used the Panther to hit me in the face.
Bring me steel.
Does he have a Defender of Argus here? No, he's a Sen'jin Shieldmaster. Fair enough. And he even gets its health beefed up. Alright, well, here I think it behooves me to play Stormwind Champion. And Heroic Strike. So I'll kill off this engine, and we are going to hit him in the face. 4. Yeah. So between this Tiger and Heroic Strike and Upgrade, I should be able to finish him out. I also have a 6/6, which is something he cannot currently kill. I mean, even killing this 4/4 is currently pretty difficult for him, so he needs some taunt and some really good removal. Like, he needs a Hex and then some taunt. He doesn't have the cards he needs, though. He just threw his 2 things away. He's got an Earth Elemental. That's kind of annoying. And a Pearl Spirit. Wow, okay, well, he's got a lot of taunt there, that's for sure. Can I get a Big Game Hunter? Not a chance. Alright, well, let's play this. And I guess let's cleave, because, I mean, why not? It's really never going to get any better. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is kill the healthy wolf. Upgrade. Kill the damaged wolf. Armor up, just in case he has something, and then pass the turn. So the idea here is that if the Earth Elemental kills my Stormwind Champion, the Tiger swings for 5, and I've got Heroic Strike for the kill, so I need him not to have a taunt. He played a lot of Overload that turn, the Overload plus the Spirit Wolves. That was 5 Overload, so you can only get 5 mana. So basically he's either got a taunt in his hand, or he's flipping, hoping to get a taunt totem. Now if he had Ancestral Spirit for this Earth Elemental, then he'd probably win the game. Unless I top decked a Big Game Hunter, which has not been showing up when I need it. Punk. Alright, here it is. So is he going to flip a taunt totem? Or play a taunt? Oh no, he plays an Azure Drake. Bold move. I think he had to hope for the taunt flip, but I guess I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're gonna just heroic strike and GG. All right, 5 wins. Pretty happy about that actually with this deck. I mean, I'm pretty happy considering that we were at like 1-1 and then 2-2. I'm happy that we even have a shot at success. And we're cruising up on this Only the Mighty quest. I mean, yeah, it is taking a long time if you think about it. Like, I started out with that quest at 0 progress, and then now I'm still not done, and I've already played 7 games. Like, you generally won't play 7 games. Although, actually, hold on. I mean, with, like, the win 5 games quests, to win 5 games, you won't, like, actually play 5 games unless you win 5 in a row. You'll probably play more like, you know, 7, 8, maybe even 10. So, yeah, but those are 60 gold. Yeah, I guess it's a pretty fair quest. Mama's Backhand says, GG. Thank you. That was a well-played game. And here we have not the greatest opening hand. I think I'm actually... Well, the upgrade could be useful, but it could also just be a total waste. I'm going to actually keep the Heroic Strike to kill off, like, any 2-mana minions. This is... I will just point out, this is the 3rd time we're playing a rogue in this arena, and it's the 3rd time that I'm going first against a rogue. So, yeah. There's Arcanite Reaper. Don't see that card very much. I certainly didn't want to see it right now. This is actually really bad. If she coins out a Ringleader, I'm in a lot of trouble. Okay, Worgen Infiltrator, not the end of the world. Fiery War Axe, okay? As I often say, you should play your Fiery War Axes on turn 2. It's better than armoring up, or just passing the turn. Yeah, she could play an Ooze, but then, you know, whatever. That's life. That's life, bitches. That's life. Is she going to attack me with this thing? She's going to let it sit tight. Alright, well, that's a reasonable choice, I suppose. I will play her game and play my own stealth minion that she can't interact with. Interesting choice, smacking me in the face with a dagger. That implies she has nothing better to do than remake the dagger, and it looks like I am correct in that. And she's still not going to attack with this Infiltrator, which is just fine by me. Alright, so do I play the Korokon Elite knowing it can die to the Infiltrator plus the knife? I think so. I think I will start to get some damage through here. I mean, my opponent needs to be a little bit careful. I just dealt 8 damage to her. If she daggers this minion, she'll go down to 18 already. Like, that's kind of low. And then I can start looking at burning her out. I've got 6 damage here, plus 10 is 16 damage. Plus 4. I mean, I've got 20 damage sitting in my hand. Like, the amount of damage sitting in my hand is actually more than her life total right now. So, really, the only thing she could possibly do is, like, play taunts or life gain. Otherwise, she just loses the game. So yeah, we are going to start going for the face. I'm not going to commit the Heroic Strike, obviously, but we'll play the Golem, which is durable. That's somewhat likely to be good for 2 damage, which at this point I'm pretty happy with. Any amount of damage is fine. I just need her not to play any taunts. And people, I think, undervalue taunt a little bit because Trump said that taunt is overrated. So, I'm happy about that. Alright, she's going to heal up. I still have, believe, enough damage to kill her. This is 3 plus 10 is 13, 17. Oh, no, I don't. I'm 1 damage shy. Ah, crap. I'm 1 damage shy of killing her. Yeah, I have 10 plus 3 is 13, 13 plus 4 is 17. Okay, so we're going to shift gears a little bit here. Let's play this. And I'm going to put this thing into the board. I'm not going to play this just to have it die to the owl, so we'll armor up. And see if she can use the dagger to, plus the owl to attack this. If she does, then she'll be below the point. Actually, no, I've got 14 damage right now. Yeah, it's not going to be enough. Kodo, oh my god. Am I really going to lose this game? This is ridiculous. Alright, so rather than, I mean, I could play the Stormwind Champion, but it's just 5 damage here. Like, any buff will let her kill my Stormwind Champion. Gotta admit, this owl's pretty annoying. It's really stopping me from playing Oozes. And now I'm using up all my weapons to kill her stuff and get card advantage. But that's the nice thing about warriors, is they're flexible. You can kind of shift how you play as the game goes along. She got a Razorban Hunter. Pretty good answer to Arcanite Reaper, actually. Gnomish Inventor draws a card. She has too much on the board for me to really want to play Stormwind Champion. Ah, Twilight Drake. That's very good. So we're going to play Twilight Drake. Going to play the Hunter. Going to kill off the Gnomish Inventor. So I've got some board presence here. Hopefully some of this stuff will live and I can actually play Stormwind Champion next turn. Especially, I'm looking at you, Twilight Drake. She's used 1 silence already, so hopefully she doesn't have any more. Dagger comes out. She's going to kill the Piglet. Deadly Poison. She's going to kill the Razorban Hunter. Or maybe even the Twilight Drake. Fan of Knives. Oh, Jesus. That's annoying. So that drops us to a crucial 2 health, which is really frustrating. The good news is the Twilight Drake dealt 4 damage to her, but the bad news is I've already used up all of my weapons, so like I don't actually have any burn left. I mean, I got the Heroic Strike, but that only takes her down to 10. Dark Iron Dwarf, not helpful here. Okay, well, that being Deadly Venom, I think, makes the Ooze a good play. Don't really like playing Stormwind Champion here, but I feel like I have to. It's just never going to happen otherwise. She has enough damage to throw everything into the Stormwind Champion to kill it, then I'll be left with this Ooze.
Truth is my
Sunwalker. Ugh. That sucks. That definitely sucks. Although she played it before playing Novice Engineer, which is a little bit of a misplay. You should always draw cards first. Hope she doesn't have a backstab. Oh my god, what are you doing?
One shot.
Elven Archer! Ugh. At the face! Wow, so she's going for the kill here. Alright, that makes sense, I suppose. I don't have any whirlwinds or anything. So, yeah. Alright, well, let's play Boulder Fist Ogre. And let's beef up my Ooze. We'll kill the Sunwalker. I actually didn't even count to see if I can survive this. 3, 5, 8, 9, oh god, 10. Okay, so she needs 1 point of damage and she wins this game. That was a really dumb game. She kept on having just enough pressure to stop me from being able to burn her out, and then she sees that she has the kill, she Stormpike Commandos in the face. Ah, that game was fucking idiotic. Damn it. There must have been a way that I could have won that. I feel like I misplayed that. Yeah, I had enough like cards in my hand to kill her. I guess maybe I should have just gone for it. She never did play any taunts or any oozes, so if I had just gone for it. I guess she played the Sunwalker, but if I had gone for it, I might have been able to win. Yeah, so I overestimated my ability to win through control, and then I lost. So I don't know that I could have won necessarily, but I could have given myself a better chance to win. So 5-win run to start off the day. It's alright, but Warrior is definitely not, you know, the powerhouse that it used to be. You get 55 gold, so that kind of pays off for the arena, but it's also not the most that you could get at 5 wins. 5 wins, the average is something like 80 gold, so that's a bit below average. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the remainder of this stream's runs. Let's go ahead and take a look at the collection. Don't think I got anything new there. Nope. Disenchant for 40 dust. And it is time to jump to our next arena. Still didn't finish that quest. Alright, the next one's going to be Shaman, Warrior, or Priest.